Welcome to second module of Automation Accelerator. If you haven't watched first module, I'll drop the link everywhere so you can go ahead and check it out since it's very informative and important for you to understand this one. Even the last one was short, yet this video will be longer with tons of practical value. So I'd suggest you to stop whatever you're doing and pick up a notebook and pen to take notes so that you'll take action. Now, by the end of this video, you'll know what's a niche, what are right indicators to select a niche, benefits of a niche, how to establish ICP, and what are services to sell in AI space. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Now, first and foremost question is, what's a niche? Now, it is a part of a big market, particularly a targeted market, which is comparatively small to whole market and has a very specific needs, pains, preferences, and identity. And example of a niche is like broad market can be fitness and wellness, niche can be fitness coaches. Now you can go further and niche even further, which is known as sub niche or sector. For gym, sub-niche can be weight loss trainers. Now, when you start a business, you have two options on targeting. You can select a broad market, therefore generalize your business, or you can select a targeted specific part of market, therefore niche down. Now, I'd like to touch on this shortly. Targeting a broad market makes you look like a jack of all trades, and niching down on a part of market makes you look like a specialist. I'll give you an example here. Let's say your neighbor has a brain tumor, right? It just got diagnosed. Now, you won't just go to an ordinary doctor to get it treated, right? You will go to a specific neurosurgeon who you know can handle this case, right? So that's the difference in niching down and generalizing a business. If you're a generalized business owner, no one would come to you with exact problems. Instead, they will come with random problems. So you have to make exclusive, you know, solution to their problem every time they come across to you. But when you are a specialist, the problems are alike, so you don't have much of a work to do. Moreover, you get more clients. Now let's talk about benefits of a niche. Firstly, your message resonates easy and better with the prospects. You can target very precisely, therefore it will take less money and time of you to generate leads and reach out to them. Solution to their problems are alike, so you won't have much of a work to do. Also result in high conversion rate, therefore more client side. It is said riches are in niches, as when you are so specific about your solution to their problem, you're perceived as an expert in that region, as if you're a drug lord in a specific part of city. Now, you can expand once you have conquered a good part of the market, or you can pitch different offers, yet starting in niche is ideal and vital for your success. Am I visible? I hope I am. Right. Now you can access this flowchart from the first link in description. I did the same thing for the first module as well, so you can go ahead and check it out as well. Now, since we have talked about the benefits of a niche, here it is. I'd like to go ahead and shortly touch on this thing, which is 5 factors to select the best niche. Now, I would like you guys to note this thing down because you'll be using this for years to come, and this is one of the most crucial things you need to select a niche. Now, there are 5 factors that I've seen to be very useful. First comes in revenue, which means how much they make all over. Second comes in product tickets, which means how much is each unit worth, the worth of a single product they sell. Third comes in profit margins, which means how much profit they take home out of revenue. Like after paying out every other expense, how much profit do they take home with themselves, right? That's the profit margins here. It's usually in percentage. Like if I sell you a $30 product and I have like 10% of the profit margin, I'll take $3 in my pocket. That's what it is. Now next comes in total addressable market, which is TAM, which means how huge is the market. Therefore, how many businesses are currently working in this specific industry. Now this is important for you to understand how many leads you will be generating or how many leads you can potentially get. Next comes in saturation, which means how many people currently are targeting these businesses, like other agencies like us, right? That's what the saturation is. Now, next comes in for this is that you need to have a proper number for, evaluating all the niches you select. And for that reason, I've found these numbers, which seem to be like revenue should exceed at least $10,000 per month or $30,000 per month. And that's how they can afford our services, which might be worth $3,000 to $5,000 worth. Now next comes in product tickets. Now that shall be at least $1,000 per unit or more, so that you don't have to sell a lot more of their products. You just have to make like 5 sales of them, and they'll feel like, hey, your services did something for a business, right? If their product ticket is so less, like let's talk about $200, you will have to make, like, let's say your services are worth $3,000, right? And their product ticket is $200. Now, for $3,000 service, if you want to find equilibrium in your, the cost you charge them, the price you charge them, and the money you took from them, you will have to generate, I would say, how much? 15 sales for them to feel like your services are worth it. And for that reason, we want to avoid the businesses whose product tickets are so less worthy, right? So product tickets shall be at least $1,000 per unit. Profit margin shall be 20% to 40% as minimum. Total addressable market, I would say 10,000 total available businesses is a good number. Next comes in saturation, where you should avoid too high and too low of it, but looking for balance since it is proven to be beneficial and has low competition. Now I'd like to touch on this very shortly. When the saturation is too low, it means that this thing doesn't work, or you will have to reinvent the wheel, and that's something that we don't want to do as a beginner. See, you can do it, all right? You can go ahead and innovate and invent something new, but the thing is here is that it'll take you a lot of time, and we are here to make some money fast so that we can, in our future, build better projects, like, you know make reinvent the wheel, let's say. Or on the other hand, when the saturation is too high, it means the competition is too much in that niche or business that you want to avoid at all, because when the competition is too high, you are just fighting among each other and you forget about the numbers, and in that way, at last, you don't make much of a money. Now next comes in this table. I've made this to show you guys how you will be evaluating your niche. Now I'd like to run you guys through these 5 niches that I've selected out with some kind of numbers here. Now pool installation comes as first. Now revenues seem to be pretty good, $50,000 to $150,000. Profit margins qualify as a minimum since it's 20 to 40%. Product tickets are 15 to 35,000. Total addressable market is 15,000 plus in US market, and saturation is high since it's very less sophisticated. Like pool installation can be done by anyone, right? Next comes in cosmetic surgeries. $25,000 to $42,000 is the revenue they generate. Profit margins seem to be 50 to 80%, and on this table so far, I would say cosmetic surgery is the best niche since it qualifies most of the part. 30,000 is the TAM, which means it's pretty good. Product tickets are 2,000 to 10,000, which means you don't have to generate most of the sales. You can get the job done in 3 or 4. And saturation is moderate, which means there's a balance in it. So I would say this is the best one. If you see luxury realtors, they have thin profit margins, so this is one of the things you need to avoid, even though they have moderate saturation and their TAM is pretty huge. I don't know if you should go with that, but I would say cosmetic surgery is one of the best examples here of the best niches. Now next comes in steps to select niche. So I've measured out a few steps here. The first step comes in as a select a broad industry you find interesting, for example real estate. I personally never understood real estate that well, so I always went with other niches like fitness and healthcare. Fitness, as I've always been very interested in gym and everything, so that it's one of the things I know pretty good about, right? Now next comes in choose a part of industry, therefore niche. Example real estate agents in England. This will do what it'll make your targeting practice more precise, so you don't have to waste a lot of money on disposed targeting. Now I've given you an example of real estate agents in England, therefore you can go ahead and innovate yourself, like commercial real estates and real estate agents in Australia, dealing with kangaroos. It can be anything. Next comes in run this niche from metrics or factors I mentioned above to validate these metrics that I've just given you a little while ago. Now after all these things, if you have done it all, next comes in questioning yourself time, which means you need to ask yourself these 3 questions, and that way you can make sure that you find a right niche. Now first question comes in, do I understand this niche on a minimal level? That means, do you understand what kind of words do they use, the terminologies, or what kind of operations do they have running, what kind of CRM tools do they use, or how do they conduct business in a specific area? Now these are the questions you need to answer in order to find certain niche. Now for that thing, I would like to suggest you guys something, that if you have an experience in some kind of industry or you have some kind of relatives, it'll be good. Now my cousin was doctor, and for that reason I first went with healthcare because it helped me out. Now if you have some kind of friend or relative, you can go ahead and ask them some questions about the industry. They will be more than happy to help you out. Therefore, it'll help you to find the right niche for yourself. Now, next comes in, can you see yourself working with these businesses? Now, this is like, see, service-based business is like a relationship, right? You can't fool yourself or fool the other person into it. You don't want to be stuck in kind of a niche that makes you sick, right? You don't want to work with them. You wake up tired and you're like, oh, again, I have to make solutions for them again. And for that reason, I would say make sure that you feel yourself good when you're working in certain, niche. Now, I personally love fitness niche since most of the people are badass. They are jacked and they talk pretty good. So I'm like, yeah, these are the kind of people I want to be working with. Now, I personally can't work with climate activists, for example, because they talk stupidity and I can't be a stupidity. So make sure you have that level of tolerance and understanding of their niche. Next comes in, have other agencies found success in this niche? Now, this is one of the most crucial questions you'll be asking yourself, since you know you have to make sure that this niche have been proven to be beneficial for others. Now, I'll say what AI have been beneficial for in most of the niches, I would say, because you know AI is a new thing and AI is already storming the businesses of online coaches, doctors, healthcare overall, fitness, real estate agents, and all the other things, even cosmetics and stuff like that. Now you can do two of the things to beat the competition in the niche. First comes in, form a sub niche, therefore go ahead and niche down even further. This is one of the less efficient things and I personally don't suggest it. And second comes in, form a USP, which stands for unique selling point. This is highly efficient and personally suggest it. It's like you're on a blue boat in a red ocean, that kind of thing. Now you are perceived to be a unique guy, therefore you beat all the competition, so the prospects come to you themselves. Next comes in ICP, so I like to shortly touch on that. It's not a big topic out here like niche. Now ICP, it stands for Ideal Customer Profile. It doesn't have a direct effect on your business, yet it can be beneficial as you'd be targeting right clients then. To establish ICP, mark down these questions, I've said the metrics here. What mentality shall they have? For example, welcoming revolutionary ideas. Once again, you should see service-based business as a relationship, so you need to make sure their mentality, their budget, or their past, whatever it is, and the pain points shall align with your desires, that kind of thing, right? So first comes in, what mentality shall they have? Second comes in, does their pain points align with my services? Next comes in, how much budget shall they have? Now, I've dropped here what kind of ICP I had when I first started at Biz Sculptors. So you can go ahead and check it out. Once again, the first link in the description will be the link to this flowchart, so you can access it. Next comes in AI services. So there are three types of services that you would be selling here. First comes in AI automations, second comes in AI voice assistants, and third comes in AI chatbots. Now let's start with AI automations. Now there are countless automations you can make via Zapier or Make. Now I've named 10 kind of automations you can make via them. First comes in lead nurturing via email sequences. It means like automatically sending a set of personalized emails to leads who sign up through a form on your website. For example, when a new lead fills out a form, an email sequence is triggered to nurture them with the relevant content. Now this is pretty vital for your customer retention and a good impression on customer. Now this doesn't just end up making them your eventually buyers, but also gains you a lot more referrals since people go ahead and talk about your business to their friends. Next comes in customer onboarding. This is pretty similar, but it's like when a new customer signs up for your service, triggers a sequence of onboarding emails or tasks to guide them through initial setup process. Next comes in customer feedback collection. Now feedbacks are backbone of a business. People shall be talking about your business and you should be learning from it, and overall even new visitors check out them, so it's one of the most crucial things. Now this is one of the kind of solutions that people will be eager to buy from you. Now what it is that automatically send a feedback survey to customer after a purchase or support interaction and then stores the response in database or CRM. Alright, so next comes in appointment scheduling. In this case, you'd be integrating your calendar with your booking system so that when a customer books an appointment, it automatically updates your calendar and sends a confirmation email. And this will free you of most of the work since appointment scheduling can be a pain in the ass since you'd be using calendar and everything. Yeah, you would be using the same system in the appointment scheduling of AI voice agents. Now, I went on and named 4 services that you'd be selling in AI voice assistants. Now, I personally made a video on this back then as well about how to create your own AI voice agents. Now, first comes in customer support system, second comes in appointment scheduling, third comes in order placement, and fourth comes in reminder for abandoned cart. Now, fourth one is the fourth and third, I would say, is for the e-com kind of niche. Second is usually for the service-based business, and first one can be used for anyone. Customer support is, you know, one of the most important part of the business. Is there's a lot of complaints and good feedbacks as well. Now for this thing, you'd be using a tool called Plan.ai. I've already made a video on that thing on my channel, so you can go ahead and check it out. I'll drop the link in the description as well. Next, we go ahead on AI Chatbot. Now this is one of the most simplest solution you'd be selling in the name of AI, and there are a few you can do. First comes in AI Persona Chatbot. Now, I've already made one AI Persona Chatbot on my channel for Andrew Tate. You can go ahead and check that video out. Andrew Tate turned AI. It's one of the examples of AI Persona Chatbots. Next comes in referral systems. Now this is when the chatbot has already talked with your what do you say, customer, and then at the end of the conversation it asks for referrals, that if you have enjoyed the conversation we just had, we would really appreciate if you refer this to your friends, our business, and you would gain certain bonus and they would get certain bonus, and overall you get a lot of benefit of that. Now that's the referral system. Now I'm going to touch on these things later down the line as we will conclude this course. I will show you guys all the service delivery. Next comes in SOP search board. SOP stands for Standard Operating Procedure. Now this can be used in any kind of business, but I would like to suggest this for law firms or any kind of firms, since they have all the kind of documents. You can compile them into an PDF or whatever it is and put that in the knowledge base of a chatbot. Now whenever they have some kind of case coming up, they'd be like, okay, 2007 19th May, Mr. Benjamin's case, and chatbot will tell them about everything there is for Benjamin's case. And that's one of the benefits of having an SOP search board. Now this can be used for any kind of firms. As the product matching systems can be used for e-com or dropshipping stores. Let's say a prospect comes on your website and asks for a product for their pet dog. Now chatbot will ask them, what kind of pet do you have, how old is he, what kind of tools do they already have. Now that way it'll run down all the kind of products they have already. Let's say you have like 50 products on your website, so the customer don't have to run through all of them. The chatbot will search out the best one for the customer according to the answers they give. Now, that's the product matching systems, and this can be used pretty good. Now for ecom, I've already listed out a lot, like product matching, auto placements, reminder for abandoned carts. Now there's a lot more here as well, like customer feedback and all these things. So you can just select out ecom as a niche and have these solutions offered to them as a value stack, and they would happily say yes to your offer. Next comes in car rental systems. It's pretty self-explanatory. Next comes in lead generating bot. Once again, it's self-explanatory. So is customer support. So is plan generator, as for backend for fitness diet plan generator. It's like, let's say you're dealing with some kind of fitness coach, right? You give them a chatbot, set it up with all the kind of diet plans they've already given, so that whenever a new person comes up with like, hey, my BMI is this, I weigh this much, I already have experience of 5 years in the gym, what kind of diet plan do you have for me? So that what the fitness coach will do, it'll take that all the information that it has been given, put down in the chatbot, take out the diet plan and give out to them, so it'll save them a lot of time. This is like convenience offer. Next comes in staff training, like when someone new recruitment comes aboard, you can just get them trained via chatbot, since people seem to be hesitant talking to a human. They don't feel much of a shame talking to a chatbot, so there you go, staff training. And these were quite a few examples that I've given you here. You can go ahead and access to this whole flowchart, and then you can innovate yourself. Now, as we will conclude this course, I'll dive deep and show you guys full tutorials on how to build the solutions. For now, I hope you got an idea about what we will be selling and to who we will be selling. Now, with that being said, you can go ahead today and find yourself a best niche and, you know, form yourself an ICP, then innovate some AI services and practice them out. Now, for AI chatbots, you can use softwares like VoiceFlow or WordPress. AI voice assistants, you can use Blend.ai. For AI automations, you can choose Make and Zapier because they are quite basics. There's a lot more actually, Airtail and all these things, but I'll just suggest these things. Right. So go ahead, try yourself, and if you have any kind of concerns, you can reach out to me via social media. I'll drop the links in description, or you can just comment on this video. So I'll make sure I respond to you. Next video will be about how to craft an irresistible offer. Since you already know what we will be selling, now you need a way to present your offer, and that is one of the most important things you need to do about your business. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, goodbye.